Aeon Mall is worth over $14 billion, and it is the largest retailer in Asia. It has over 10,000 locations, 625 general manager stores, and over 274 malls in over 13 different countries. And in my research to figure out how they got so successful, I stumbled upon their genius business formula, which centers around racism. Right? Now, and that sounds kind of ridiculous, but I guarantee you it's true. Now, in this video, I'm only going to be focusing on the Aeon Mall in Vietnam because I was just there. So, this video is divided into three parts: the problem, the solution that Aeon provided, and the genius behind their solution. So, first off, the problem. The biggest problem that Vietnam have is their food has high levels of pesticides. And why? Because when you are in a tropical country like Vietnam, you have a lot of crop-eating insects, and you need to use pesticides to kill them off, or else your crop would be worthless. But the problem is people in Vietnam uses very, very high levels of pesticides to the point where it is dangerous. The first sentence to this Vietnamese food safety article says, consumers have no idea what they're putting in their mouth could give them cancer. Yeah, cancer. Now, the thing that most people forget about pesticides is that the more pesticides that you use, the stronger the insects become, right? They become resistant to it. So over time, you have to use higher doses of more toxic pesticides. Eventually, the insects become so powerful that they could probably kill you. Now, the second problem that Vietnam has is food chemicals. And by food chemicals, what I mean is that they dye food in chemicals to make them look fresh, even though they are rotten inside. Yeah, those chemicals actually exist, and people actually use them to sell to other people to eat, to consume. There's a whole world out there that you guys probably don't know about, but these things happen, and it happens a lot in Vietnam. Is this ethical? No, it's not, but it happens because people in Vietnam are poor. So, what is Aeon's solution? Aeon's solution is better foods, right? But specifically, better foods for rich people, right? Because that is the best way to make money, right? Take money from rich people. That's a lesson I learned from President Joe Biden, right? Always take money from the rich. Now, personally, I have nothing against President Biden, right? It's just good business, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. So what Aeon did was that they provided better quality foods for around double the price. Now comes the big problem, because obviously, better foods is not a radical new idea, okay? People have wanted better foods for a very long time. Why haven't other companies done it? Well, it's because it's very, very hard. All the farmers out there are using high levels of pesticides. Foods are thrown out, foods are soaked in chemicals. No one can be trusted, right? No one can be trusted. So how do you get better quality foods when all the foods are toxic and your trust in the Vietnamese people is as much as how much they can open their eyes? Well, the answer is a multi-billion-dollar company. And because they are a multi-billion-dollar company, they can set up strict guidelines. And these are the guidelines. These guidelines really show you how much they trust in the Vietnamese people. And then the first one is no scandal of product quality. Oh my goodness. If you have a scandal on product quality, right, companies in America would recall their products and just pay off whatever they need to pay off. In Vietnam, they keep selling it and selling it and selling it until they can't sell anymore. Number 3, means of transportation and or product containers are suitable with product requirements. This means that when you are transporting food, okay, you need to make sure that you are transporting food properly, right? Like let's say meat, right? Are you gonna be transporting meat in 90-degree weather with no AC? Well, apparently people do. People do that all the time in Vietnam because trucks with ACs aren't cheap. And so they just don't put AC. And then they go through hours and hours with hundreds of pounds of meat and they deliver to the store and the store sells them. Yeah. Number 5, traceability, okay? Everything needs to be documented and traced from start to finish. Why did Aeon require this? Because they don't trust Vietnamese people. And I wouldn't trust them either. I'm Vietnamese, so I can say that. And number 6, suppliers must comply with Vietnam regulations on using crop protection products, veterinary medicines, antibiotic drugs, food additives, food processing aids, and so on and so on. Oh my goodness, like, are you kidding me? Why is that a requirement? Like, you need to comply with Vietnam regulations? Are you kidding me? Like, are the Vietnamese regulations just a suggestion? What are Vietnamese people doing? Oh my goodness, what's a regulation there if you don't enforce it? Now, let's go to the genius of this strategy, and that is racist beliefs. Racist beliefs. And this is the genius of Aeon, right? Because they do racism the right way. The wrong way to use racism is to use it to hurt people, right? Like America's been doing for the last ever. The right way to use racism is to help yourself. And the way to do this is to use the racist belief that other people already have about your ethnicity and to use it to your advantage. If your ethnicity is known to be good for something, then charge more for it. Here, let me give you an example. Let's say that I charge $100 to tutor your son in math. Well, this guy, who could very well be just as qualified, only charges $50. Am I really twice the math tutor as he is? Well, I think so, but who knows, right? Nobody really knows. And that is the key. People judge things on appearance and reputation. And if your appearance and reputation is better than the next person, then charge more for it. So next time, don't use racism to hurt people. Use racism to help yourself. If you're Vietnamese, charge more for doing other people's nails. If you're black, charge more for your fried chicken. If you're Indian, charge more for tech support. Just charge more for the things that your ethnicity is known to be good at. So what Aeon did was that they charged double the price for the products in their Aeon malls. And the truth is, people still buy them. Now, if you're thinking that this is a bit of an exaggeration and I'm making this whole thing up in terms of their strategy, I'm not, okay? They literally said it in their website, okay? They literally said it in their website. Like, I mean, how much more proofs do you need? And aside from Pew Research, ask Vietnamese people to rate the countries that they like from least to greatest. What is the least? It's China, okay? Obviously, a lot of people hate China. I don't know why anyone would like China. But the greatest is Japan, okay? They like Japan more than they like America. So it's not a very far-fetched idea. And the other countries on the list, right? They are the other countries in that Aeon is also in, right? Philippines, definitely, right? Thailand, yes. Malaysia, Indonesia, all those countries have Aeon malls in them. I mean, if that's not proof for you, then what is, right? They are clearly targeting racism, right? Racist beliefs that they use to help themselves. I mean, what a brilliant strategy. Instead of spending millions of dollars on advertisements, they can come in, say they're Japanese, and people will automatically believe that they are good quality. Are they good quality? Maybe, maybe not, but their reputation is that they provide very good quality. Now, the hidden gem of their strategy, the hidden gem of their strategy is their real business. Because believe it or not, they don't make a lot of money, right? As you guys can see, the entire Southeast Asian countries, right, excluding China and Japan, they only make $13 million a year in profit. So when you see this big mall, this big gigantic mall right here, that mall probably makes in profit probably less than $100,000 a year. Why would anyone spend millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to invest into those things and they only make $100,000 a year in profit? Well, the main reason why they're investing so much money into Vietnam is because their main business is real estate, just like McDonald's. Bet you didn't know that McDonald's is actually a real estate company. People who don't live in Vietnam don't know this, but the land in Vietnam are very, very expensive, right? They are way more expensive than the houses in Vietnam, right? Just this small piece of land, this square piece of land, 35 feet by 35 feet, this square piece of land is worth $3 million, right? 3 million US dollars, right? How crazy is that, okay? And this is just because they are close to Aeon Mall, right? They are a 5-minute walk from Aeon Mall, and that small piece of land is worth $3 million. And I got this from a local resident, so it's true. The lands in Vietnam are incredibly expensive. And what was the price of the land before Aeon Mall came there? It was less than $200,000. Less than $200,000, and now it is worth $3 million. How crazy is that? That little plot of land is worth $3 million. Imagine how much the entire area of Aeon Mall is worth. That is the genius of Aeon Mall. Buy land for cheap, build a mall, create a community, and the price of the land automatically goes up, and then they can sell off the land and make billions. That's why they're planning to invest another $268 million into building more things in Vietnam. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for you guys. See you guys later. Bye.